What the Nazis did first, just after Bonhoeffer's radio address, and a mere 4 weeks into Hitler's chancellorship, is interesting. What they did was they used an event, the Reichstag fire, to their political advantage. A supposed Dutch madman set fire to the Parliament building in Berlin, which is the German equivalent of the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. The Nazi used the fire as an excuse to enact sweeping emergency decrees that suddenly allowed Hitler to do things without the approval of the German parliament. The Nazis also took control of the media narrative and instantly whipped up a hysterical fear of the communists and other political opponents whom they insisted were to blame for the burning of the Reichstag, despite evidence to the contrary. Their goal was to crush dissent by instilling fear in anyone who wished to object. Although Adolf Hitler was wisely coy about the details, he was deeply dedicated to fundamentally changing Germany. This meant bringing everything in German life, including the German church, into line with Nazi doctrines. Once he had the power and the opportunity to act, Hitler did so with lightning speed, and things changed very quickly. But what is amazing and horrifying is that many in the German church were willing to look away. Bonhoeffer effectively told the church that if we're going to see any effective change for the better, they needed to start taking action and getting political. He said those who call themselves Christians have an obligation to God to get political if necessary, and to take a bold and likely dangerous stand against their own government. Bonhoeffer dared to call upon his fellow church leaders to stand with him against the actions of their government. And this led to Dietrich and other German theologians and Lutheran pastors to form the Confessing Church. Perhaps most interesting are the 12,000 pastors who weren't willing to take a stand one way or the other. Somehow, they simply didn't have the courage to take a bold stand along such lines. It seems they reckoned it the better part of valor to let the 3,000 take all the heat. So, with the silence and compliance of the 12,000 pastors, the Nazis began arresting and otherwise persecuting those pastors who had been willing to take a stand. I know for a fact, and Bonhoeffer knew, that if any of those 12,000 had done that, history would have been dramatically changed. The question is, what is happening in America today? And will the American church learn from what happened in the past?